Boom, here we go. You guys ready? Are you ready? Are you sure? Are you ready? Here we go. I really didn't want to do this video because I feel like, everyone already knows what I'm about to say. It's gonna go something like, blah, 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 use an agent. Blah, 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 get professional photos. Blah, blah, blah. Wait. Well, I forgot. Anyway, if you just Google how to sell your house for more or tips for how to get your house ready to sell, you're gonna come up with all kinds of information. And for the most part, most of it's gonna be about the same. Now I am gonna touch on some of that because I don't want you to go YouTubing other people's videos. I want you to stay here. But the thing that I think is the big difference maker, I'm gonna save for the end. Because I think it's a big deal when you're thinking about selling your house, and all other things being equal, it's a substantial difference maker. But first, I need to talk just a little bit about what's actually going on in the market. If I could, just a moment. You see, the market is on fire, and not just here locally, it's on fire nationally. And there's a lot of not experts who are running around saying that they think that the market is going to crash. So I heard Dave Ramsey the other day say that, the 2008 market crash was really the only time in history where the entire real estate market all went down in value. Yeah, sometimes individual marketplaces go up and down in value, but the entire nation usually doesn't drop. It never drops, aside from, back in 2008. Again, usually a small market will go up and down. Let's say a big manufacturing plant leaves the area and then everyone loses their jobs, so people have to leave. A whole bunch of inventory floods the market, and then, prices have to fall. But generally speaking, prices are always going up, or at least staying flatlined. So I really don't see that there's a bubble coming or a crash coming for a few different reasons. So there are too many millennials right now that are at that ripe buying age. They represent the largest population of people that this country's ever had, like 80 million people, and they're all entering the buying market. Next, we have a shortage of contractors who can actually build homes. This shortage does stem back from the 2008 housing crash, in which a lot of people just flat got out of the industry. So we can't build homes faster even if we wanted to. And then again, the final reason why the market is on fire right now is because lumber prices are out of control. There's actually a shortage of lumber, and prices are up like 300%. So here in Oregon, we have our own challenges. If you want to know more about our own personal challenges here in the state of Oregon, feel free to check out the suggested video right up here in the upper corner. So in review, the nation is struggling from a lack of inventory, and it is likely to continue for quite a while. And when we do actually normalize, it's not going to crash. It's going to just kind of go from this to this and just kind of level out to a normal rate of growth. Not these ridiculous 10% jumps every sale, it seems like. Okay, with that being said, the first thing you need to think about when it comes to how to sell your house for more or how to sell your house at all is you need a place to go when you do sell. Now that kind of sounds silly because that's never been a problem before, but the inventory is so low right now that if a lot of people are not selling, because if they do sell, they fear they won't have anywhere else to go after they sell their house. I guess unless you're an investor, and then of course, it's a rental or something and you can just sell it. Oh, and if that's the case, call us right away. We can help you today, okay? But the market is so competitive right now that you can't place an offer on a house and expect to win it if part of your offer is that it's contingent upon you selling your house. So what came first, the chicken or the egg anyway? I don't even know. Well, you do have to take a little bit of risk here, but I guess that's okay, because after all, why do we go out on a limb? Because that's where the fruit is. So what we're commonly seeing now, and it's not ever been a common thing, but now sellers have so much leverage that you can basically ask for anything, is we're seeing a 60-day rent back. And that's one of those things that basically you just say right up front, hey, I'm selling my house. Obviously I want the highest and best, but I'm also gonna require a 60-day rent back. And of course, that's so that you can procure a house for you to move to. Again, not something we've ever seen normally, but lately we're seeing this pop up on lots of homes because everyone's in that same position where they don't have anywhere else to go. So if we gave you 60 days, you close in the house, you actually get that wad of cash, and then you've got 60 days to find and get into your next one. So again, in review, I guess the main point is to know where you're going so you don't end up homeless. All right, next big point here is get a home inspection. Okay, so this usually makes things a little easier down the road. You see, in every transaction, the buyer, when they get into contract on the house, is gonna have a home inspection. Well, in most cases. I mean, we're seeing some crazy stuff right now. But in any case, they wanna get a home inspection because they wanna make sure that the house they're buying is not a lemon, you know, like with the cars. And what they find during that inspection will give them leverage against you as the seller. Maybe, you know, they'll be asking for things afterwards. And since you're already in contract, you kind of sort of feel obligated to them because it takes so much time to go back to market and try to find another buyer if they're trying to squeeze you for money. So you just, you know, let it go. But if you have the inspection ahead of time, then you know what they're gonna find. You know what's going on with the house, and you can take care of it either on your own dime, on your own budget, or using your own resources or your own people. And if you can provide that inspection to buyers, maybe before they even write the offer, that will settle any fears or doubts that they might have and allow them the confidence to put their very best offer forward. Next up, prepare the house. First impressions are paramount. We will talk about this again, I promise. So spruce up the front entry, liven up the landscaping, lay down some fresh mulch for crying out loud. Heck, even potentially paint the front door. You want it looking dialed for people's first impressions and their approach as they head up to the door. Then you've got the interior. And if declutter isn't a specific enough word, just move out. Really, decluttering is crucial. I mean, we have a nicer word, we call it editing, but really take the leap. You're moving. Go ahead and start packing. I mean, knickknacks, bye-bye. Family photos, gone. I mean, not all of them, probably most of them. People want to see themselves living in the house. They don't want to see you living in the house. They don't really want to know where you went on your 5th wedding anniversary to, you know, Bora Bora or wherever. They don't want to see those photos. They want to see themselves living in the house, which means that you need to take away as many distractions as possible. Oh, back to the decluttering, not necessarily the photos, but it might sound weird, but something as simple as a toaster, which you might use every morning for your Eggos, like our family does, tends to add up, and you want to put that in the cupboard. That's how detailed we want to get when it comes to decluttering. If for whatever reason the house is empty, you should definitely consider having the home professionally staged. It seems like a big expense. It may cost a few $1,000s, but it will make such a huge difference in the way the house feels. And it allows the buyers to see themselves living there. I mean, it's the closest thing we have to a Jedi mind trick. Seriously. But it adds so much value. I guarantee if you stage a house versus a house that's just empty, the staged house will get more. In fact, there are statistics that prove that. Maybe you're not fully out of the house, but you took my advice earlier and basically have gutted the house and all you have left is your main furniture. That's okay, because you can also get a house partially staged. This is where the stagers will use your furniture, but then bring in extra accents and things to hang on the wall and stuff, and they'll help maybe move some stuff around to make your house look bing. Remember, stagers are also like interior designers, so they can really help put the emphasis on the right stuff. I mean, you know, they bring the magic. Or they use the force, if we're gonna stay with that analogy. Repairs. Get the repairs that were identified on that inspection wrapped up. Just do it. And finally, we have to have the house show ready all the time. I mean, not at 8 o'clock at night when, you know, you're at home with your family, but certainly every day after you leave the house for work or whatever, you want to have the house show ready. The more people we can bring in, the more potential offers we can get, the more leverage we have when negotiating with the person who's ultimately gonna buy the house. And trust me, I guarantee the day you leave a load of underwear on the bed to be folded for later is the same day the buyer is gonna ask to come and see the house before you can get home. Murphy, man, gets you every time. Okay, next, professional photography is absolutely a must. Yes, 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 yes. Even in this crazy, bonkers market we're at right now, professional photography will show the house in all its glory and tease buyers' imaginations to bring the maximum amount of interest to the property. Using your iPhone, or if your agent shows up to take photos and they're using their iPhone, just call us. Call us, okay? That's so lazy. I mean, this is the biggest transaction and asset of most people's lives, and you're gonna show up and market it with an iPhone? I mean, they do take great photos, but get a professional, for crying out loud. Realtors wear a lot of different hats, but marketing needs to be one of the biggest hats that we wear, I guess. And if an agent shows up with their iPhone and that's the extent of their marketing prowess, they should be fired, especially right now. Isn't it our job to get you the most money for your house? Yeah? Well, how are lazy, crappy photos gonna bring in more interest? Fire that agent. Just fire him. Sorry, I went off on a tangent on that one. It just makes me crazy sometimes. Price it right. In this market, the goal should be to secure, wait for this is important, more than one buyer, so that you can leverage them and get more for the house. Now, you can play all kinds of games, but still, the theme of this should be you only get one chance to make a first impression. Market too low, you might not even get all the interest you think you're getting. Market too high, nobody wants to buy a house that's overpriced, unless they're competing to win it. You only get one chance to make a first impression. That's in regards to all of it. From the condition, to the marketing, to the photos, to the price. Everything. You really have got to make the very first impression the very best one. If you go too high and then later come back down later on the price and go, oh, well, just kidding, we really want to sell for here, you've already missed the buyers. You missed the boat. Same thing with photos. Sometimes I've seen listings go live with one photo or with 5 photos. Well, right when it hits their portal, that's when everyone sees it. They're not gonna come check back on it later. I mean, sometimes they do, but everybody, they're not coming back. So if you put the rest of the 30 or 40 photos on there later, it's too late. People have already made their judgments, they've moved on. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and it's gotta be dynamite to capture all of that interest and to leverage that into multiple offers. Sorry, back to the point here. So generally speaking, you want to get the price as close to where the comps say as possible. And especially in this market, we can let the market do the rest. It will reveal how much the home is worth. Whoa, but what was all that you were just saying in the last excerpt about wanting to get multiple offers, and so the more offers the better? Well, yes, but I mean, if you start the price artificially low, then you might escalate and just get to like where you should be anyway. If you start where you should be and then still get some escalation, you're gonna be pushing that boundary to where you're really getting a lot more for the house than anybody expected, which is what we're seeing right now. I'll make it easy. And this will lead into our next segment. Get a great, not okay, a great agent. One who's actively doing deals in this market regularly, who knows what's going on, and this is the hard part sometimes, actually listen to them. This is a market unlike any market we've ever seen before. Things are moving so fast. You need an agent who's actually right there, who knows what's going on. I'll be the first to say that in a normal market, most agents are pretty good and they'll do a really fine job for you. But this is not a normal market. Right now, the market is so crazy and things are moving so fast and the dynamic is shifting literally by the week that if you don't have an agent that's right on top of it, you're not going to be getting the most money for your house. All right, the last one, and believe me, I know this sounds bad. just use us. Shameless, I know, right? At least in the Central Oregon, Redmond Bend, Sun River, Prineville, Sisters market. I don't want to fully explain here on this video why we're better. I'd be better suited for maybe a phone call. But, you know, we work for Harcourts, and we are heavily trained in, you know, how to deal with properties that have a lot of interest. You see, we have a luxury auction platform, and we're required to be pretty extensively trained in this and how to handle, you know, multiple offers, literally an auction. Think about what's happening in the market right now. Every home has, you know, 10 offers, and sometimes they go 10% over asking, even 12, 15% over asking. Well, as the agent on the list side, when we collect all those offers, wouldn't it be to your advantage to have somebody who was an expert in auction training, who knew how to leverage those multiple offers better than, say, someone who didn't? Again, I know, I'm sorry, shameless, but I wanted you to hear that because I do believe that we have an advantage. And it's not really an advantage to us, it's an advantage to you to make sure that you get the most money for your home. Ah, gosh, I gotta do something funny now. That was just too intense and serious. Ooh, what you could do is check out these videos right over here and smash that like button, leave us a comment, and subscribe to our page. That way you'll always know what's going on. See you guys, thanks.